You're welcome. You're going to introduce yourself. Because I don't know. You don't want me. It's not like I need more than I just stab it a little. Or just a small gunshot. Etta Jomaria.
Yes,
right?
Etta Jomaria.
It's great to have you. Actress, Nigerian actor, international storyteller, and multi-potentialite. She's a rising star with standout roles in The Waiting Song, Chetam, and The Grand Season 2. Great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right,
that's
that's quite a lot. I know about Grind. I know about Chetam.
Yeah.
You know, and you were on these productions, yeah?
Yes.
Wonderful. But before that, let's get to meet you as a person. How was it growing up for you? How did you get into the world of acting?
So, that's quite an interesting story. I'm an Ecom girl. Akbarabon girl from Ecom local government in Cross River State.
Okay.
And, you know, the usual, I would say it's a little cliche, but not so cliche as well. Starting from drama in church, you know, doing a little roles here and there in church, but just doing it for fun and to the glory of God, right?
Okay.
But then while I went to college in Ghana, I was actually going to do law. That's quite interesting. I was going to study law and
theater art.
No, but you know the funny thing, I didn't even study theater arts.
Okay.
I'm a full communications, like first-class communications graduate, actually.
Okay, so theater arts, mass communication, why is it that? They're always ones that when people aim for something,
they don't branch.
Miss it.
It's
I don't fall down to this one, but yeah.
You know, it's quite interesting. It's actually bittersweet. So I moved to Ghana for school, for college, and while I was there, I just randomly, it's literally the most chance situation, got into like a short film with a few, you know, classmates, colleagues in school. And from there, I just realized that, okay, yeah, I'm actually good at this.
Okay.
It's not just I'm doing it because it's my passion. It's like a thing of, I'm good at this. I was such a natural. It just came easily to me. And, you know, from there, that was like in 2017, early 2017. You know, from there, I started like trying to learn because I'm such a bookworm. I believe that if anything is worth doing, it is worth doing well. You know, so I wanted to just find a way and have like a little back-end knowledge while I was still in school, pursuing my degree in communication. So I took some acting classes, some master classes in Ghana on acting. And the next year, which was in 2018, there's this American-based Ghanaian director called Leila Jansi. She came to Ghana to cast for her project titled 40 and Single. And I went for the audition, and I was shortlisted as the actual lead. You know, but I was, you know, my body failed me. I looked too smallish for the role, but it felt so good that I was even shortlisted because it definitely confirmed that, you know, there was something there, and that project is actually on Netflix now. But I still got a role. I still got like, you know, a sub role, and yeah, so that's literally where my first. I don't want to say proper because every form of art, every form of filmmaking is proper in its own way. But my first major, I'll call it major, you know, project started. And then after that, I did Sugar, Sauce and Spice. It's like a coming of age movie about, you know, young teenagers, and it admonishes other teenagers to, you know, not smoke shisha, not follow bad friends, you know, this very social impact storytelling. And interestingly, that project ignited something in me. After the project, we went on this huge tour to different schools, you know, to say hi to the teenagers and, like, you know, as the cast of the project. And wherever we went to, they were all flood on us for autographs. It gave me like 2 seconds of stardom. So good. You know, but then after that, the questions they would ask emanating from the lessons they learned in the film, you know, really opened my eyes to realize that, okay, film is not just for entertainment, and it's not just a saying when they say it's also a form of communication, a form of information. Apart from that, more importantly, it's a source of learning without telling. Do you get what I mean? It's like show, don't tell. That's what we know as actors. So even for the audience, it's a very, you know, it's a process of just enabling them learn life lessons without necessarily pushing it in their faces. And that's where my social impact storytelling, you know, emanated from. I decided that every opportunity I would get, I would use it as a form of you know, storytelling in a way that teaches. So when I'm making my own project, by God's grace, I would always try to make a social impact film. And that dream came to life when I moved back to Nigeria in 2021. I did a short film from film school. I went to film school, did a short film on rape, which is like, you know, gender-based violence. And after that, I traveled to East Africa to shoot another film. Yeah, and then when I got back, I made my own short film titled Strength of a Woman, which also like focuses on sexual harassment, just, you know, admonishing people to, you know, on the effect of sexual harassment and how survivors can, you know, pick themselves up and be more confident in themselves. And, you know, it's just been uphill from there. And then I've gone on to do genres like, you know, all the drama, comedy. I'm currently on My Flatmates as Phoebe. Okay. Which is like a comedy, so it's always, I smile whenever I talk about it because it's so, you know, it's more I don't want to say mellow, but like that's the, you know, yeah. And, you know, Grind, Chetam, as Lolia.
That's quite a rap sheet you have there. Yeah. In a good way, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, is this, getting into this, yes, you started as a communicator, studying mass communication and all that, but now that you're into this, have you found your place? Is this it for you? It
is it. This is my job. This is my career, right? Interestingly, I met someone a few days ago. We went to film school together, and she was telling me, "Oh wow, are you still in the industry?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And then she is literally in tech now. Okay. You know, and it was quite funny because when you meet people in film school, you think that everybody already has it figured out. This is what they want to do.
What they want to do.
You know, but life, you know, just transcends into different forms.
It does. It does. Film as it is not as financially viable as we might want it.
Exactly.
And you know, when things come in, when bills come in,
exactly.
You know, if the roles are not coming in that much, how do you fend for yourself?
Exactly.
So a lot of things come into play and all of that.
I agree. And apart from the financial aspect, I think for this person most especially, it was just a thing of she realized that this was not what she wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and sometimes it's just like that. It's like it's not just money, it's not just the only determinant of people changing their career paths. Sometimes you just keep going and you realize that, okay, while finding yourself, you realize that there are other things that you're probably better at or you probably love more, and that's okay. But it's just been it's been a constant for me. For you. It's like from when, even I loved communication while I was doing it, even though that wasn't my first choice, but I loved it. And I sort of like still intend, even though they're sort of like different worlds, but the same at the same time, if you get what I mean. Yeah. You know, like film in itself literally thrives on communication. Very true. You know, as an art form. So, and communication in itself, storytelling, communication has forms of storytelling, which film can also play part in. You know, I'm trying to see how I can merge those worlds, you know, to obviously also expand myself as a person. But intrinsically, this is what I am. I am an actor. I am a storyteller, and thankfully, even though I'm not making billions yet, but it's going to come, but I have been able to get a sort of fulfillment from doing this. You know, I'm definitely not where I was the last time, like last year, for example. I have, you know, Chetam season 2 got premiered and on Showmax, and even Grind came on Amazon Prime. As at last year, I did not have these 2 projects. I mean, I had Chetam season 1, but I didn't have Chetam season 2. And I didn't have Grind. And my character has really grown on My Flatmates. You know, so these are encouraging factors that shows me that, okay, for a fact, this is what I'm meant to do. This is where, you know, I'm meant to be. I mean, life in itself is a process, right? Very true. So as you continuously go, you continuously grow through life, things just happen differently. And most important, what is most important is you're not where you were previously and you're moving forward. How do you,
for most of these roles, I know that a lot of people get roles via recommendation and all of that, and that's very valid. Was there any of these roles that you auditioned for? Or was it from literally from one production, someone sees you and likes what you do and recommends you for this role and all of that? Interestingly, the only project that I have gotten, or the only role I have gotten just via recommendation is My Flatmates. I'm breathing because the person who did that just passed 2 weeks ago. That's Mr. Kayode Peters, God bless his soul. Bless his soul. He was one of the creators of My Flatmates. That man was like he was very instrumental to I would say he's been very instrumental to my growth as an actor and my career, because but even before he got to recommend me, I still earned it because I remember recommendation. That's why it's recommendation. Exactly. It's based off what someone else has seen. Exactly. You know, it's almost simply like a business. if I recommend your business, that means I like what you did the last time. So it does not. It is in no way implying that you got it easy.
Easy. No. I understand. I was even coming to still answer your question about like the audition, because I was trying to say that even though I was recommended to get on My Flatmates, which is like one of my biggest projects now, I still had to audition a few years back for Mr. Kayode Peters, you know, for other projects. Like I had to audition for something else that he was doing, and then I didn't even get that role, but he did now cast me for another project titled Kingsmen that he directed. That was just a film. And when I did that, he said, "No, my God, this girl, you're phenomenal, you're great. I would definitely make sure that whatever I'm doing, if you have a role in it, I'll definitely call you." And then a few months later, like early last year, he just sent me a message and said, "I have sent your name to, you know, my people on My Flatmates. You get a call." I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much, sir." And lo and behold, I got the call for My Flatmates. I went, and it was an interview in that case with the series producer, Mr. Solomon Adekunle. And after that, you know, they already had created a character, and they saw me in that role, and that was how I started My Flatmates. But for Chetam, for Grind, I auditioned. You auditioned. I went through different levels of auditions. Different stages. And different stages. For Chetam, it was interesting because it was from the sending a tape, and then you go for the physical audition, and then you send a tape again, and then you go for screen test, which is also an audition. It was like a long process, but it was worth the while because that character really changed a lot of things for me. And when I watch her, even myself who played it, I'm like, I don't believe that is me, right? And then for Grind, you know, we did audition. At some point, it felt like it wasn't going to happen, but then when it did, we were taken through. I don't know. You say you're conversant with Grind, right? So,
what's her name now? There's I don't know. One of the producers. What's her name? That's
Roberta.
Roberta Orioma.
Orioma, yes. Yeah.
I've interviewed her just before it started.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I see.
I've not had access to watch it, but I know I spoke with Roberta when she had just started. So the name does stay. The name stayed.
Yeah, that's
with
true.
me.
I mean, Grind is a story. Briefly, it's a story about a girl who was, you know, trying to, like, from a struggling young woman, you know, trying to literally find a place in the world, and then the story just expands into different worlds and different things that she had to do, not because she really wanted to, you know, but so because of that world was opened, you know, to the lives of strippers, because she went to work in a strip club, and in the second season, my character was one of the strippers. Oh. Yeah, interestingly, her name is Barbie. So we literally went through months of training. Literally pole dancing. We took pole dancing classes. I always.
But it's breakfast show, so she can't show her skills on that level.
No, I cannot. But trust me, I think I do. If I wanted to start as a career, I would do really well.
Enough for a number of you to want to watch Grand.
Yes, it's quite interesting.
You are an excellent communicator. I love listening to you. That's why first class, by the way. Interesting. That's why.
I think this is the first time I'm saying this on air, so let me own it. Yes.
Yeah, told you to. It's not everybody that can come with first class. You know, we first class people.
We do try, right?
Anyways, okay, but I wish we could continue talking to you, but we do have breakfast for you if you don't mind.
Are you serious?
I don't mind
at all. I love food. That's
do?
Another interesting fact. Yeah, I don't look like it, but I love to eat good food.
You love to eat? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have something in the kitchen. My guy is there in the kitchen. Let's